For God to love the world that He gives only begotten Son, that whosoever believes shall perish but have everlasting life. Hey guys, my name's Alberto. Welcome to my Christian channel. Um, Join our movement. Join our Christian movement. Um, I've been having technical problems with the live stream, so I'll have to do a video. So unfortunately, you guys can't participate through chat. I've been having internet connections for a long time. This is something new. Uh, so it's just more problems, man. More money, more problems. Just kidding. There's more money, more problems. Except I'm not making any more money. What I'm gonna do is I'll chat with you guys for a little bit. Then we'll go through some Bible study. I hope you guys are still gonna join in. I'm just getting frustrated. I tried live stream like 3 times already. Good thing I didn't give up. I'm like, well, I could do a form of a video, so let's do it. Um, where I left off in the other video where I had to cancel, it's just having problems. I'm a good example. Not to sound cocky, but please hold your applause. I'm a good example of a Christian that's always miserable. Been tested, and you could say, well, everybody's always been tested. Oh, by the way, my name's Alberto. I don't know if I told you guys. But I can easily say 90% of my life stinks. You know, I've been really miserable since 14, since my high school football career went down the crapper. Excuse my language. Um, I might be going through a divorce right now. I really need to get away from my wife. I'm sorry. I apologize to you guys. I apologize. I will try to apologize for my wife, but of course she's gonna be it's your fault. I'm gonna say it's your fault. That's a big reason why I'm getting out. I'm married to the Christian church. I'm ashamed, but I had to give up. I think they say that you're not supposed to give up under any circumstances, especially if you get married by the church. You don't give up on your marriage, but I did. I think I had a good reason to. I was not allowed. She's sick. She's at her house. I was not. They banned me from, kicked me out from going over for stupid reasons. What, for me taking pictures of my room that's over there? My wife's room is my room, right? At her family's house. Taking pictures of them using my room as a storage area. And that I got in trouble for. They got, I don't even know I should be telling you guys, but I'll go, well, let me run with it. They got mad at me at COVID for not staying with my wife when she got a room there. She had bumped her foot or something. She's diabetic. It was serious. But it was during COVID. They wanted me to stay there. They were trying to bully me to stay there, which I should stay there in theory. But for one, it's not my town. I'm 50 miles away. I don't have money to feed myself. 2, I'm diabetic. I need my sugars to be up. 3, that the hospital already said it's COVID. You can't stay there. Nurses are just bullies, and they just butt into our business. And that's not enough. And yeah, they say, yeah, I left my wife, for 5 days? I ran to Victoria, which I didn't even plan on. There was a good chance I was not going to come back alive. Because I was going to Victoria, Texas, where I don't know anybody. When I went over there, I still pray to God to guide me in what to do. I couldn't stay home. I was having family problems. I had a sister that kept coming over that ignored me to my face for 6 months, which is a horrible thing to experience. And she used to be my favorite sister. We talk now, but it's because I came back from Victoria. Because my mom scared her, like, hey, this guy, he can't take care of him, so he went over there. He doesn't know anybody over there. I don't have a lot of money to stay over there. I didn't stay in hotels. I had to be on the streets. I come back and it's still crap. That's the reason why I left. Excuse my language. I want to say I don't give up. I don't go. Yeah, I gave up. I took off to Victoria. I was lucky. I came back. I got handcuffed over there. Almost got arrested for just walking on the side of a street. Cops started harassing me. This world is garbage. For me, it's garbage. It may not be garbage for you, but it's garbage for me. Man, we should make a song out of that. So the bottom line is 90% of my life stinks. It stinks now. But I'm trying to turn it around where I have to enjoy misery. I have to enjoy being miserable. Hey, that's what God, the way God wants it. That's the way it's gonna be. I have a friend I'm trying to learn the Bible with and stuff like that. Learn more. God bless his soul, Jeff. Man, I just he's a friend. He doesn't turn his back on me. If he has time, he'll talk to me. If he doesn't have time to work, he'll let me know. I was so depressed I can barely move today. I need to bring that up in my YouTube shorts. That will help people. Thank you guys. If y'all are seeing this, you see my YouTube shorts. Thank you for watching. I hope it helps you. Yeah, it helps me. It helps everybody, I think. I hope it helps you more than it helps me. I'm like, but when I'm like, I'm not gonna get, I don't get paid for this. I don't get paid anything. I am way far from making my quota. That's fine. Everything's bad in my life. There's a positive thing. I mean, I'm doing this for free. I wanted to do this to help you guys. I ain't the best. I don't know everything of the Bible, obviously. But I like to discuss it. You guys can correct me. Give me your 2 cents. What I'm doing. Jeff is correcting me. You know, if he thinks I'm saying something wrong, and correct me. We can be here to learn together. Some of you guys come in here and correct me. That's fine. Go ahead and do it. I am prideful. My wife, my family have humbled me big time. Had me crying on the floor like a baby. I have not been blessed to do things on my own. I cannot work. I can't do nothing. What money I get's an allowance. I'm losing my teeth. I have to have cataract surgery, and I'm poor. And I owe hospitals hundreds of, well, let's put it this way, thousands of dollars. Oh, wow, life is grand. I'm trying to maybe make it to another level. And believe me, I said, you know what? I've told my family, go leave me in the side of the road. And just whatever happens, happens. A part of me wants that to happen. I'm diabetic, my sugars go down, and I'm not gonna have money. It's curtains for me. I cannot last long in the streets. If I have a little money saved, if I do, it'll be $100. But how much is $100 gonna get you in the streets? Not very far. Well, I'll be lucky to stay in a hotel for one night, and then what? Then I'm right back on the streets, and I don't have street smarts. I don't know how to make money. What's preventing that happening is Jesus is preventing that from happening. If you want, you can say God, whichever you choose, man. But I always keep the eye on the prize, Jesus, because God wants us to concentrate on Jesus. Right? How many times I said, what's the bread and butter of this channel? The John 3:16, that's what I go by. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. The thing I want to put, and I know it's a Christian channel, I'm not going to try to be dirty, but it's a good analogy. And I want to remember to put in my YouTube shorts. Imagine if, let's use me an example because I don't want to offend anybody. I'm naked in the woods, the worst woods ever. I expect God to protect me. If I have faith in him, I expect him to protect me. If I'm praying to him, I expect him to protect me. Right now, I feel so vulnerable, and I'm pretty sure we get to a point where we all feel vulnerable. All right, I could say more, but we need to get started. I'm sorry, we just passed the 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes, I'm going to try to keep it where I introduce myself. Hello, my name is Alberto. Welcome to my Christian channel, and we're going to do some Christian studying today. We do chatting, but unfortunately, I can't. I'm getting internet. I can't go live because of the internet problem, so I'm going to have to do this by video. I hope you guys are watching. So we're going to read from the Good News Bible. Maybe one day I'll go learn some more and I'll just start doing the King James Bible. I got to start reading on it. And they got the Promise Book for Men. We'll be going over that today. Let's start with a Promise Book because I think I did a Good News Bible last time. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, last time I think I started from the back or the middle. This one has on backsliding. Isn't backsliding when you're doing something wrong or your rebellious days or something? I got it from a show called Martin. But it actually says backsliding here. It says, when you want to grow in your obedience to God. There's the first one. It says, be careful. Don't let your heart be deceived so that you turn away from the Lord and serve and worship other gods. If you do, the Lord's anger will burn against you. Deuteronomy, I'm sorry, I cannot say that word. I don't know how to say it correctly. Pardon me. Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verses 16 and 17. Now, let me give you my opinion. This is only an opinion. I can use myself as an example. Say, like I say, I'm always miserable, and I'm like, forget Jesus, forget God. For example, I'm gonna go, for example, worship a god of Egypt. Because they used to worship like alligator gods, whatever. I'm gonna go worship the alligator god. This is what I think. I bet you anything, you worship that god, which is a false god, alligator god in Egypt, right? And I bet you anything it's gonna bring you good fortune in life for a while, but at the end everything's gonna go badly, and you ain't gonna make it to heaven. You're not gonna get into everlasting life because why? You broke one of God's main rules that He hates. I shouldn't use the word hate, but hey, Mike, it says the word hate in the Good News Bible. If you don't like the word hate, I'll say He doesn't like. God does not like us. What? God does not like us worshiping false idols. He doesn't like you worshiping anything that's not Him. So he's definitely not gonna let you go to heaven if you're worshiping a false idol. You're not gonna get that everlasting love if you're worshiping false idol. It's like for me, I'm always suffering like almost every day. It's better off to suffer all these days and suffer, do the suffering. If you're living a life of me of just suffering and misery and loneliness and all that, it's better because life's too short, even though the days are long and long. But at the end, I expect to get my everlasting happiness and I don't have to debate it with God. He knows. He knows my heart belongs to Him. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you something personal. If somebody captures me and tortures me and starts pulling, I don't even know if I should say this because against YouTube stuff. But let's say I get tortured some way somehow. I can't take pain. I will turn my back on God. Well, I'll say bad things. about God, whatever, because I can't take the pain. But God knows inside that, hey, I still have allegiance to Him. It's just that I can't stand pain. Let's say I escape and I'm 100%, I'm going to go back with Jesus and God. That's just me personally. You guys can comment to me if you want to tell me what would you do? Yeah, because it says if you do turn your back on God, it's that the Lord's anger will burn against you. All right, let's go to the next one. I'm going to go on the next one, also involving backsliding, being rebellious. It says, keep watch and pray so that you will not give in to temptation. For the spirit is willing, but the body is weak. Yes, my body is weak. I have needs just like any other man concerning a woman. Y'all know what I mean. Gotta watch out because of YouTube policy. For the spirit is willing. What does that mean, is willing? Was it willing to help you? And this one is, this one is Matthew, I guess it would be chapter 26, verse 41. Let's read it again. Keep watch and pray. Okay, I'm watching, I'm praying. So that you will not give in to temptation. Giving into temptation of the flesh, that's one thing. I don't know, can I say it here? Sex? Temptation of the flesh. What's the other one? Money. Treating people bad, disrespecting your parents, going against the 10 Commandments. And there's other sins beside that. Pray that you're not sinning. I guess you could do that, but we all sin. Remember, we sin, we need to ask for forgiveness. For the spirit is willing, but the body is weak. Yeah. But body is weak. All I could think of is just sex. And we, because a lot of guys, like they say, a lot of girls say, hey, that guy wants to get with every single girl. That's us being weak. Even if you're married, even worse. I've always had temptation and all that. But we have to remember to fight that temptation. Maybe we should read one from over here. It says, when you need to be strengthened. And it says this is from the Bible. And it says, your promise revives me if it comforts me in all my troubles. That's the promise of everlasting life in heaven. Your promise revives me. It comforts me in all my troubles. See, that's what I need to think. I don't know the helper. I don't think anything's gonna help right now. God knows. All I can say for me feeling better, and for you guys to feel better if you're in the same boat as I am with misery. Yeah, God promised us everlasting life. Here we go again, back to that. That's, to me, it's all it goes back to that. That's what I want. One day I do want God to take me. Even if we all die, I'm just saying. If I have to die or the rapture comes and I get elevated, I don't care. I just want to be in Jesus and God's kingdom. Because I don't know if it's Jesus. I don't know if it's God. God is the main honcho. Jesus, the Son of God, our Savior. I don't know which was, probably God. Showing me, because in my opinion, I think God can bless me. Hey, Alberto, I'll make you a billionaire. Hey, supermodel wife and all that stuff. But He didn't do it. And He gave me a lot of misery. And my friend Jeff could say it's me, but hey, I ask for happiness. I don't ask to be miserable. I pray for happiness. I ask for guidance. I'm still miserable. I think God, this is my opinion, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I think God wants me to be miserable for a reason. Maybe that's being miserable is I'm being punished. Some people say I'm at witchcraft on me. I have a lot of bad luck. I can't work, can't do nothing, and I think I was the only thing I could still work. I lost my place. Yeah, I think I could be suffering or being miserable. Because maybe God's showing me, hey, you gotta pay your dues. You need to suffer if you want to come in my kingdom. I don't mean to put words in God's mouth. That's just what I'm thinking. The Bible's so confusing sometimes. I read somewhere, I don't know if it's true or not. It wasn't in the Bible, but it was some kind of religious book saying that God doesn't even want us to think about what He's doing, what He's thinking. It's hard. We are creatures. We are humans, and it's in our nature to be asking questions. I don't know, man. Things, and if it is a wrong thing, it's just very hard not to do it. Let's say it's somewhere that God said, hey, He doesn't like us to know what He's thinking about or even think about it. Hey, we have temptation. We wanna know. We're curious. So I guess we could be in sin if that is true. Adam and Eve, same thing. Weren't they curious to eat the apple? Ooh. All right, let's move on to the Good News Bible. I just skip around here and there, and sometimes it's gonna be the same thing. But if you notice, if you go through the same thing every day, I'm gonna change the wording because how I feel is different every day. Let's say the story of Jesus walking on water. Let's say on Tuesday I talked about that, and I'm gonna say it a certain way. Jesus walked in water, and I'm gonna say it in a one way. Well, let's say 2 months later it's another Tuesday, and I'm talking about Jesus walking on water. I will say it completely different because I feel different that day, and the words will just come up different. You know, this is not a script. I'm doing this all freestyle, so that's what happens when you do it freestyle. What does freestyle mean? You just go on a whim and just say it. There's no script. There's no nothing. I don't come prepared to do this. All I do to get prepared is set up my laptop, set up the lights. There's no script, nothing. I'm gonna pick a story. I usually pick short ones because I don't want to put you guys to sleep. Well, if I do long ones, maybe it's best to break it down. Look, I'll do a long one. Let's try doing a long one. Because if I get lazy, I'm just doing short ones. I'm gonna cut it up because I'm gonna be on the Good News Bible, page 763. It's from Isaiah, chapter 22 and 23, I believe. Excuse me. This one's about as a passage, or it says a message about Jerusalem. And it says, this is a message about the valley of vision. Whoa. What is happening? Why are all the people of the city celebrating on the roofs of the houses? The whole city is in uproar filled with noise and excitement. Well, that's the first part. And I want to say that when I continue, I don't remember reading this. So, wow, it was exciting. Story for me too. It's the first time I read this or remember this. Well, I don't remember this. Maybe I read it before. I don't remember. Okay, let's continue. Your men who died in this war did not die fighting. All your leaders ran away and were captured before they shot a single arrow. Now leave me alone to weep bitterly over all those of my people who have died. Don't try to comfort me. This is a time of panic, defeat, and confusion in the valley of vision, and the sovereignty of Lord Almighty ascended on us. The walls of our city have been battered down, and cries for help have echoed among the hills. All right, let's start there. That's another paragraph. So it reminds me like they're stuck in like a castle. I don't want to say castle, surrounded by enemies or something. That's very scary, and you have limited supplies, and usually you're cut off from supplies. It says, the soldiers from the land of Elam came riding on horseback, armed with bows and arrows. Soldiers from the land of Ker and their shields ready. The fertile valleys of Judah were filled with chariots. Soldiers on horseback stood in front of Jerusalem's gates. All of Judah's defenses crumbled. All right, looks like they're losing the battle. I think it's the Jews. Next, we have when that happened, you brought weapons out of the arsenal. You found the places where the walls of Jerusalem needed repair. You inspected all the houses in Jerusalem and tore some of them down to get stones to repair the city walls. In order to store water, you built a reservoir inside the city to hold the water flowing down from the old pool. But you paid no attention to God who planned all this long ago and who caused it to happen. So there you go. God's caused it to happen. They're in misery, and I'm thinking, in my opinion, that I haven't read the story. I think God's punishing them. He's punishing the Jews. It is said God will punish the Jews or even us if He knows that we're straying away from Him. That's just my opinion. So let's continue with the story and see how I'm right. It says, the sovereign Lord Almighty was calling you then to weep and mourn, to shave your heads and wear sackcloth. Instead, you laughed and celebrated. You killed sheep and cattle to eat, and you drank wine. You said, we might as well eat and drink. Tomorrow we'll be dead. See, I was right. He is punishing them for they were swaying away from God. So this battle that they're more likely going to lose is because of God, and God is punishing them. I've read stories about this and stuff like that. That's how I knew. But I don't recall this story though. It says, and let's continue. The sovereign Lord Almighty Himself spoke to me and said, this evil will never be forgiven. Let me restart again. I'm sorry. Okay, I lost my place. It says, this evil will never be forgiven them as long as they live. I, the sovereign Lord Almighty, have spoken. Wow, God says He is not going to forgive them for this. Okay. Okay, let's do something. Let's. There's another section in it right after this one, and it might be talking about the same thing. I rarely do this. I usually skip around, but let's go for it. Do something different. It says, the Lord Almighty told me to go to Shebna, the manager of the royal household, and say to him, who do you think you are? What right do you have to carve a tomb for yourself out of the rocky hillside? You may be important, but the Lord will pick you up and throw you away. He will pick you up like a ball and throw you into a much larger country. You will die there beside the chariots you were so proud of. You are a disgrace to your master's household. The Lord will remove you from the office and bring you down from your high position. Let's stop there. Paragraph finished. So it's somebody that's in power that, God says, I don't care what your position is, I will still bring you down from your position. You're nothing to me. Even though you think you're big, you have a high job in life. Let's continue. The Lord said to Shebna, when that happens, I will send for my servant Eliakim, son of Hilkiah. Forgive me for my mispronunciations. I will put your official robe and belt on him and give him all the authority you had. I don't know if that's a typo, belt or bet. It says belt. Okay, let's just move on. He says he will be like a father to the people of Jerusalem and Judah. I will give him complete authority under the king, the descendant of David. And he says he will have the keys of office. What he opens, no one will shut, and what he shuts, no one will open. I will fasten him firmly in place like a peg, and he will be a source of honor to his whole family. And it says, but all his relatives and dependents will become a burden to him. They will hang on him like pots and bowls hanging from a peg. When that happens, the peg that was firmly fastened will pull loose and fall, and that will be the end of everything that was hanging on it. The Lord has spoken. It says but all his relatives and dependents become a burden to him. I feel like I'm a burden to my family. I'm just holding them down. I can't bring an income or anything. I'm surprised they haven't kicked me out of the house. I'm gonna go over. Let's go back to the Bible Promise Book. Let's go to this. It says, when you wonder how God can use you, please use me and help me, family. I would like that. It says, I cry out to God Most High, to God who will fulfill His purpose for me. Okay, God fulfilling that purpose. That's Songs, chapter 57, section 2. It says, another one would be, my dear brothers and sisters, be strong and immovable. Always work enthusiastic for the Lord, for you know that nothing you do for the Lord is ever useless. And I am broken, man. I don't even feel like doing anything, to tell you the truth. That's just my personal thing. I don't feel like doing anything. God will have to move me to do stuff. He has broken me. And that's First Corinthians, chapter 15, chapter 15, section 58. All right, that's about to do it. I'm going to see if anybody sees this video. I am sorry about the technical difficulties where I can't go live streaming. But I want you to know I love you guys. Everything happens for a reason, man. The struggling here, but hey, that's the way it goes. No, and this problem will probably continue. I've been having problems like this for 2 weeks already. So maybe it's time to get another internet company. So I love you guys. I miss you guys. I hope I get to live stream and successfully and have no problems and talk to you guys. Although Dell's the only one that comes in. I haven't seen anybody else for a while. But I'm going to leave you with this. John 3:16. For God to love the world that He gives only begotten Son, whoever believes shall not perish but have everlasting life.